This is Cadillac Unscripted on 107.9 CDY. It is sponsored by Independent Bank. Every weekend, right here at this time on this radio station, we talk about people making a big difference in our community, good things going on in the community. And as you recall, a couple of weeks ago, it was probably, maybe I shouldn't even say probably, but the biggest tourist and local weekend in Cadillac, possibly history, Kiss 50.
It was. And
Was
we have
it
the
nuts?
ladies. It was nuts, and it was exciting and amazing. And we have the ladies of the hour.
We
the
do.
ladies that put it together.
We have Lindsey Westdorp and Marci Hensley from the Cadillac Area Visitors Bureau with us to do a recap of what happened a couple of weeks ago. And the last half of the show we'll spend talking about what's coming up for Cadillac in the fall and winter. But first, good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
How are you guys?
Yeah, that's a question.
How are you? How much have you slept lately?
The sleeping's better now.
Okay, that's good.
No, we're doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
We're just keep going. There's no time to stop. So.
Take us back to the prep. How much prep and as far as time goes, did you guys personally put into this particular weekend?
So I think I went back because I was curious about something else. I went back. Jim Neff first emailed me about this in 2023.
So year 48, and he knew
Right.
50 was coming.
Which is good. Get it on the radar early. We've been planning this, our first official meetings, probably close to 12 months ago, because we knew that, based on how the last one went, the 40th, and like the approvals needed from the band's management companies, we needed some extra time. And now that they'd sold their rights to another company, there were 5 companies involved this time instead of just 2.
Oh my gosh.
And so that was a huge part in the, some delays and hurry up and wait sort of things through the process. But we got it all done just in time.
So for the people who don't understand what kind of legalities are involved, what kind of were there contracts that needed to be signed? I mean,
Yes.
Tell us all about the legalities of all this.
So they have different companies managing different parts of their, business. It's a business. So Pop House in Sweden, we had some Zoom calls with them, some good phone conversations. We got all of our approvals for our businesses to make custom coffee blends, have Kiss beer on tap at Clam Lake, the caramel corn, all of those design approvals, the concept approvals all went through Pop House. Then we had a separate contract with, with Bravado Inc. To sell 2,000 shirts, not one more than 2,000. We're like, you know what? We think this is going to be big. Can we have 4,000 shirts? And they said, no, we've been generous. And and they were all very generous to allow us to do the things that we were able to do at no cost to outside of the production costs and things. So they did not charge us for these things. That is unheard of. And then you have Universal Music Group. So approvals for using their music in things that we did, like our video or the movie we made, and licensing, and we're still not over a final hurdle just to get it published to YouTube, because we're talking, and then they've got their publicists, and so it was about 5 different companies.
A lot of hands in that pie, for sure. Yeah.
Wow. So I have a question. Was it everything, and this is to both of you, was it everything that you imagined it was going to be?
I got to say it was more.
Right. It was, to be honest with you, I just really enjoyed the community. Like, watching the community kind of come together and pull this off. Like, this wouldn't have happened without the community behind us, and just that you could tell everybody was excited and they were fully on board, like they were ready for it. And, that was one of the feedbacks we got from people, is just how, everybody was so nice, and the customer service was there, and the hospitality was there. And they were just shocked at how our little community came together and pulled this off at this magnitude. I just have to give kudos to the community, because this wouldn't have been such a success without that.
there was a really good mix of local people, but then people that traveled from all over the world. So
and that's what I want to know. So who did you hear from? How far away did they come from?
Well, we heard from lots of people wanting us to ship them T-shirts and memorabilia that we're not allowed to do, from Australia, from Japan, from the Netherlands, but we had people come here from Germany, from
Spain.
Canada, every state. Like they're coming from every state, and so, we sold all our hotel rooms. There were 2 sold out concerts. I have a list in my phone. I will go down the list, but the businesses, for example, like Simply Delightful had their caramel corn. They were selling empty bags of popcorn because they couldn't keep up with filling them. And these people are we were offered $500 cash for a banner off the light pole, which don't let me forget to talk about the auction. So we're gonna auction off a lot of this stuff that was created that we don't have a place, or we don't have a full-on Kiss museum, only an exhibit. So we gotta. And that'll be for charity too. But I do want to, like Corey Denman at CAPS, the whole CAPS team, they are a force. They held their end of it down. They did awesome for us. The football game, the tailgate. Their Friday was a big day at the school. The tours through the gym, and Jen Brown led them. And of course, Jim Neff did way more than we ever needed him to or wanted him to, but you couldn't hardly get him out of there. And he's still recovering a little bit, but I think he's gonna be fine. It's a long weekend for him too.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we go back and we look. Is there anything that you two personally have been involved with that can even compare to this? No. I'm seeing
they're both shaking their
heads. Yeah.
We met some unique people.
Yes.
But
we did.
so appreciative and so just like. You walk through town like something is happening here. And it's not a tiny, tiny town. It's a good-sized town. And they, like the diehard Kiss fans that flew across the country to do, they knew that we did everything they could. And there were podcasters that came, there were vloggers, and they documented themselves and they shared it back with all the rest of the fans. And like, we're just seeing, we got 1.5 million views just on our social media in 2 weeks.
Incredible.
Did you realize that there was such a large group of rabid Kiss fans? You knew, but
then you meet some of them, and it's like the stories, and they've been following this band since the beginning, and it's changed their life, or they went through some hard things, throughout their years, and Kiss helped them along that process. We were getting stories left and right. People, just crying and getting emotional for being here. And it was like, it touched my heart, a lot of the stories. It was like, wow, you don't know about those things.
And I can tell you this for sure. Okay, music unites us all.
It's true.
And we can go to you and I can go to a concert together, and we can both be sitting next to each other singing rock and roll all night.
Oh yeah.
And that is a bonding experience between you and me.
Yeah.
And no one cares between you and me who we voted for president.
Oh, that's
what
so
music's
true.
about.
It is so true about music uniting. Yes. And you guys, they're looking at you as thank you, ladies, for giving us this interactive experience where we can be a part of something so incredibly special, what happened, and the momentum behind it, and the connection that the band still has to our small town. Yeah. You ladies brought that to life. And I thank Jim, and I think the whole community does, for staying in touch with them all these years. It's such a sincere and authentic level. That's, I think, why.
That's the difference.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the absolute difference. So, for example, this isn't a dig on this at all, but next month, Kiss is hosting a 50th anniversary event of their own, like an official Kiss 50 in Las Vegas. And we've already heard feedback, a lot of people that were here are going to go to that. And they're like, this was from the fans, for the fans, totally different experience. And I will, just to the Jim he's given thousands of tours. You know, he got the key to the city, full circle. That he didn't know that the last time he was on here that he's getting
Awesome.
that. Just like the band got it to the day 50 years before. But Katie, after our last interview, Katie bought him 400 more guitar picks, and he's been through 300 of them.
Oh my goodness!
Just through
He's
that,
made my day.
just through those 2 weeks. So thank you again for doing that. That made his day. And
Good.
So that's when you can support somebody who's done so much to the community. That's a good thing. So thank you.
Oh gosh, in such a humble way too. You know, when people come and talk to him about it, Jim's a doer.
Oh yeah.
You know, I just really appreciate that about him. And wasn't that just hysterical when he said, we might not have a job after this? I mean, after our interview.
Well, he just brought it up to you out of the blue. We were finished with the show. You were almost out the door, and he said, "Oh, by the way, my budget is blown on guitar picks." So, and then you told me later about your generosity. And I thought, wow, it was fantastic.
We had to handle that, but you know, when you talk about the magnitude of, remember when he was describing, you know, back then it was like, oh, okay, well, we're going to have a concert, and you thought that, and when he explained that 7 semis pulled into Cadillac High School, that gives us all that mind blow. And so when you talk about Corey and you talk about Jen Brown, there is a spirit of collaboration in this community. And it truly is, I think, just inherent, like, if you can help, you will, because that's what we're all supposed to be doing. No isn't even part of the vocabulary around here.
Yeah.
And it shines, you know, it's shining through you guys in what you made happen. You brought it all to life. And oh my goodness, just a big thank you for that.
And it's really interesting, the timing, because Gene Simmons had a car accident out west in the days leading up to this event.
Yeah.
And then a few days after, we lost Ace Frehley, who passed away. So are you hearing from fans about that too?
It's been a crazy couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yes.
All that obviously unexpected, but we knew, like, you know, in the months and months ago, you know, like, museum exhibit, that makes sense. Some kind of lasting something. Our window is closing. Like, we knew this was a possibility. I'm thankful it didn't happen while everyone was here. I don't know how that would have went out. Like, the mood was so high, and everyone was so happy that, and they were coming down off of that when they got this news, and then they're like, you know, it's a high, and then a low, and it's like, but they were able to, you know, we kept that momentum, sharing things through our page, and it just kept right on rolling. And so, I mean, it's terrible, obviously. His funeral was this week, and we're just still getting, like, people are finding what we did and continuing to comment on it. So it will continue to spread. So, like, we made a documentary, which, like, the Mark Boardman, who is a genius, like, Jim narrates everything so well. He's such a good storyteller, but that 7 semis rolling into the school, like, he used, like, an AI generative image showing it, and, like, just, like, the oohs and ahs and the laughs and things from the audience. We sold 700 movie tickets between 2 showings.
Incredible.
One at the school and one at the movie theater downtown, which was really cool to see all on a big screen. But the never before seen concert footage, which when Dale Myers is the other, where there's 2 films, his was 25 minutes. He was the DJ from 1975 who interviewed them on the radio. He played the radio interviews.
Wow.
Never heard in 50 years, but nobody had seen the concert footage. And there are people, like, they're typing in the comments of the YouTube video, grown men crying in the comments, and this, like he is now an immediate, like, an instant Kiss fan hero for paying Universal Music Group to give his video away for free.
Wow,
So
what a
that
great guy.
he's a genius too. But so many different. It was, you know, really 3 full days. The museum, I'll let Marci talk about the museum, as it was insane there.
Yeah.
Standing room only.
Let's hear about it.
Yeah, so the museum, like, so we had interns, and we had, like, Marla Courtney, Anthony Slaughterhawk, some of our interns over the summer all working on that exhibit, as well as people from the museum, Haley and Miranda and Beth, all kind of rallying together to make that a place where people can go see all of this stuff on, you know, display. Thanks to Rich Edwards, who provided a lot of that. And I was there, let's see, I was there a little bit on Friday and Saturday and Sunday, both days, for quite a few hours, and it was nonstop traffic all day long. At one point, I'm pretty sure there was probably a couple hundred people just in like that small little, space upstairs. And that didn't even include the basement.
No.
There was people everywhere, and it was just a revolving door. And I don't obviously know what the numbers are from the museum, but I know that they've not had traffic like that in very many years. So, I mean, just bringing that awareness and being able to partner with them and be able to bring them as part of it. And a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, this is such a cool building. I want to come back here. And I want to, I want to spend more time here, and like wanted to know the history on the building, and, loved the brick outside and the history on that. And it was just like, we're coming back. We're coming back. And I heard that multiple times of people just thanking us and kudos and, wow, I can't believe you guys pulled this off. This is just crazy, And so the museum was amazing. We couldn't have done it without, the army behind us that kind of helped get us through. But I mean, we were slinging shirts like crazy. I've never seen so much action.
So the merchandise that was between the merchandise that was sold and the motel rooms that were bought and all the meals that were bought and everything that happened, can you even come up with a ballpark number of what this contributed?
We're working on an economic impact report.
Economic impact report.
How long will this take to pull all this information together into one place?
We have a good chunk of it ready now, and I'll just rattle through some stats here. But what we're waiting on is, we have some tools that measure visitor traffic, but there's a lag in the reporting. So I'd say in the next week or two we should have a really complete picture of what happened. But you drive through town and you're like, there's people on the street and they all have KISS apparel on.
Yes.
Yeah, they're part of this.
But, I mean, we had, and this is divided up among several charities now, not just Cadillac Area Festivals and Events and CAPS Athletics and Music, and our auction hasn't even happened yet, but we had like 13 golf teams at the KISS Classic Golf Outing Evergreen Resort. We had the bingo sold out, and it was full. That room at my Mescal, 100 plus people in there, with people from all over the country on a Sunday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Just hanging out.
I love it.
Yeah, 700 movie tickets, 65 racers in the 5K, and that's $1,500 to Project Christmas. The bingo is $2,100 to Jam and Bread. The book signing, there was an author, he released a book the month before, and there's 3 chapters about Cadillac. It's 50 years of KISS history and 3 chapters on us, and he sold out all of his books.
Wow.
The 50,000, that was at Horizon Books, 50,000 views on Dale's 25-minute documentary in just the first week alone. Record-setting sales days at local restaurants and businesses. We heard higher than 4th of July. It was our second, I think After 26 had their second busiest day ever. And they had their KISS appetizer menu. And there's things listed on eBay already.
Yep.
If we emptied our office onto eBay,
Wow.
we might be really in the money, but no.
Something.
And then, like the museum traffic. The last time I looked, so it's a couple week lag, but they were already up like 500%, but it wasn't even through the whole weekend yet. So we'll have some more numbers in the next couple weeks, and newspapers waiting for that.
I can't wait to hear all about that, because you just knew when you were driving through downtown that weekend that this was special. What was going on was really special. I know I hesitate to say this, but is there any thought about making this an annual event, not to this scale?
No,
but is there a thought about
That could never be done. And again, I think
this is a once in a lifetime.
Yeah, I think we knew that was just kind of like the 40th, like how well that went, and like just kind of set the stage for what this was, and then we're going to come down off of that. So in 2026, there will be a scaled down version of the museum exhibit tucked in the corner of one room instead of taking up 2 full rooms. We do have shout out to Ken Payne and DPW. They made a KISS Boulevard street sign that's right on our corner there. Mason and Mitchell. So we got to get that down off of there before somebody takes it. And
don't give anybody any ideas.
If it's a KISS day or something,
Yeah.
and I know the 5K went really well. If there's a weekend where there's a 5K race and another bingo event, or like we're a reason to give people to paint their faces or something, and it's for charity, like, yeah, why not? But to this scale,
no.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think it's possible, really.
Yeah.
So we took advantage of the kind of like the curve of what this was,
And with it being 50 years, a lot of the principals who were involved back then are still with us
yeah.
Right.
and able to tell the stories.
Yep.
Well, and
And
the
that's
band
special.
was all still with us.
Yeah.
Like you said, time's a ticking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like even Milo Bryan's, like head coach, football team, Milo Bryan's was at the game, and so
Wow.
with his son and Matt, he sat on the track, he watched the game, and Jim brought the key over to him, and we got nice pictures of those guys. So he's got to be pushing 90 if he's not 90 already. So yeah, it's just gonna be different from every year on. It'll be different, and so we really we got it done just in time.
Well, and you got it done right. I mean,
So now we don't have to do it.
well, but there's something to be said for saying that's a wrap.
Yeah.
When it was that good, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. Just I think about, like you say, economic impact, but then I also wonder what's the impact as other bands see this. You know, maybe they watch the ESPN interview, or now they watch what happened, here. Does it influence them to come out of where they are into communities? Because this is 50 years later, the town is still, KISS crazy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, there's some things that, we can't, like, we couldn't even have a concert in the school gym anymore, so, like, times are definitely different, but Ace Frehley, I had no idea, like, how influential he was to so many different musicians. Like, he's just top guitarist ever, rock guitarist. But I'm sure there's bands out there that kind of try to emulate Gene Simmons, and like, if this wasn't the business it was, I don't think, we'd be here either.
Well, and we've talked about this, when the venue brings in rock bands, those rock bands want to go see that monument when they come through Cadillac.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, good.
Photos and all the things. I see it all over Facebook.
Just for that.
Yeah.
Really?
It's just for that.
Yeah.
Which is
Oh.
great, because we stole all those pictures and we used them in our documentary.
How special.
Yeah.
So they were leaders among their peers also. Okay.
I believe so.
Well, we've got, I meant to spend about half of our time on KISS and spend the last 15 minutes or so on what's ahead in the fall and the winter. So we're kind of short on time. So now that you've come up for air after what happened a couple of weekends ago,
I can't believe you're going to ask them what else they're going to do after this. Are you kidding?
it's all, at least it's a lower demand type of thing. But what's going on
Yes.
at the Visitors
routine
Bureau?
Stuff.
Okay.
So we're at peak fall color right now.
Yeah.
And we're nice. It's nice that we have different parts of our area turning peak at different times. But so we've sent out thousands of email blasts. Last call for fall golf. Last call for fall color. So all of that's in motion, just like it would have been normally. And then by Halloween, once November comes, then we're gearing up for winter. We had kind of a weird fall. Not everybody's reporting like great color and everything, but what we've heard from people who travel the states, like, your color is good compared to some other places.
Yep.
So that's good. And the season lasted long enough, which was, sometimes it's a short season. Sometimes it's hard to time it, but
Well, we had an extraordinarily warm mid-September to mid-October, way above average. So and now we're hoping for way above average snowfall, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I think we're due. But yeah, all of our partners are getting ready for winter as we shut down the fall stuff, and we plan to hit that. It's a little more. You have to take the weather as it comes and be real nimble with, like, the ad placements and everything. But yeah, we're ready for a new season.
Okay. How about for winter?
Yeah. Well, I'm already seeing Cabernet is gearing up. They are every Wednesday they post something new that's happening out there. So I think today they got a big groomer is what I was looking. So obviously they're gearing up for it. Some of our other, snow sports, different things like that will start. I know there's now ice at the Wax, so they're gearing up for their season as well. We just, like she said, kind of, once the weather's here, we turn our stuff on. Once the weather's not, we kind of back off a little bit. So, it's a lot of on and off, like all winter long. And that's pretty normal for us. I know grooming's going to, the Cadillac Winter Promotions starting up their grooming again and, getting the schedules going for when we do have snow. They're ready and their equipment's ready. So, we're just talking with those different partners that are winter related and just where you at, what you thinking, are you set or not? And then talking with our marketing, our designer on, what we're doing and what this looks like and the different campaigns that we're going to be
we've been playing catch up the last couple weeks. We're like, at the beginning of October, we're like, hold that thought, and then we'll be tied up for a couple weeks. And then, so we've been back into more of a routine and getting stuff lined up.
So I have to ask you this question. Until recently, you were a 3-person office. Yeah. Kathy took a job with Crystal Mountain, and so now, for now at least, it's down to 2. So how is the office functioning with 2 legs as opposed to 3?
We're there's no time to really, we're just a go team. We've always been kind of just a go team. Like, we know what we need to do, and we'll just continue doing it. And, we had great leadership with Kathy, and she's helped us where we are now, and we just have to continue on, doing what we know is best, and, and we have great partners to help us along too, and our board, and keeping us all on track, focused, and gearing up for all the things we need to do coming into 26.
We do miss her though.
Yes, we do. We really do.
Question about the economy and tourism. Can we talk about that?
Yeah. We just came from a conference at the end of September, which is it's our industry conference, the Michigan Association of CVBs, and so we get a really clear picture of what other destinations are seeing. International travel is way down. That hurts several key destinations, and they really feel it, and we are unaffected by that for the most part. Other trends that we're hearing is that hotel occupancy rates are flat to down, and we are up. Web traffic across the board, and this is from the other DMOs, our ad vendors, and other partners. Web traffic down 20% across the board, and that's due to AI overviews and Google search results, and our web traffic is up. And so obviously, over the last 2 months, specifically KISS related, it's up, but just in general, we've been up on occupancy every month this year. And it's because we do these different types of things that not a lot of visitors bureaus do. And we go to the conference, and there's 2 more mobile visitor centers, vehicles. They're not as cool as our Jeep, but
You're trendsetters.
Well, when you have a lot of smaller destinations that will we're all ears when Grand Rapids is talking, or Traverse City, but if you're copying somebody, you're gonna be behind. And so we have Cadillac obviously has plenty of unique things that sets it apart, but we don't have Lake Michigan, we don't have a casino, we don't have a college, so we have to get creative, and we have to jump on the KISS train when we have to. But we take what we have and we run with that.
So what kind of competition goes on at these CAV or at these visitors bureaus?
Look at these smiles. Look at these smiles.
I would think you are sponges when you go to those things.
We are. So this is actually my first time, because it always was like right after Beer Fest, and it's just a busy time. So this is the first time I got to go to it. So to me, it was just learning all the different operations, how things are functioning in different bureaus, and just learning about what some of our bigger bureaus do and what things that we could kind of implement on the operations side. But I really I love to hear their stories, some of their challenges, some of the things that we don't have as challenges, and it's like, oh, okay.
We don't have it so bad.
Yeah,
right?
I guess not. And it's just very eye-opening. And two, we get lots of compliments. Like, you know, one of the guys was like, oh, so you're going to get another award, huh? And it was like, okay.
Maybe we will.
Maybe we will. So.
Pure Michigan representative came and watched the movie at the school. They were there for one of the days of KISS Weekend. Super impressed.
I'm live.
I'm live. We hosted several influencers that weekend too, but no, it's a very it's like I love it because they share, like everybody's like freely sharing everything.
So no one is withholding
well,
information.
we do a little. So like I'm like, well, we don't need to tell them what we're doing, but we can listen to all of this. We'll always share some, but there's some that we don't until we're ready to roll it out, and then
I
we roll it
think
out.
too is like just listening to them with like platforms and, you know, different things, widgets and stuff like that. Like a lot of the stuff that we are doing is not on the same like level. I don't know how to explain it, but
Different
like,
budgets too.
yeah,
Well,
and that's
it.
part of it is
Being
we are
creative.
very strategic with our budget
Yeah.
and making sure that it makes sense for the community and making sense for our visitors, and, you know, what are they wanting to experience while they're here, and really taking that into consideration. And, you know, we're not just spending money to spend money. And sometimes, you know, some of those platforms is like, is this really necessary or not? So I mean, just understanding, you know, what is working for us might not work for them, and vice versa. So it is kind of cool when you're like, okay, this is all new things to me, but we're doing good things with what we have.
When you have a big budget, you have a lot of toys, and that's a lot to manage too.
Correct.
And so,
And you have a lot of staff.
yeah.
Yep. And
Because
we don't have a lot of
we
staff.
are looking at the staff right now.
Well,
in front of
No,
us.
I'll shout out to our contract vendors.
Oh,
Kim
yes.
Skeltis, our PR is through the roof over the last 2.5 years. She does amazing. She's out of Grand Rapids. Brandon Jensen from Right Side Design, Amanda Steve for the last 15 years. Anything come out of Cadillac Visitors Bureau has his fingerprints all over it. And he's won multiple awards at the state level through his destinations that he represents. Mark Boardman is a genius, talented musician. When we are able to share our documentary, he shot the whole thing, he edited it, and he plays the background music in it that's not KISS music. He's a talented guitarist. You know, Anthony Slaughterhawk, probably the newest addition, talented photographer, and he was running his butt off all week long for us. So we pulled in, or we called in some favors, and
Does anyone say no to you two?
it's hard. I think it's hard, especially when our eyes are really big.
Yeah,
and we're
we're
like,
like,
we need
"Please
this
help
yesterday.
us."
Help me.
I couldn't say no to them. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
The girls that get it done, Rich.
Yeah, there is a local Facebook page called WWSGD. And I don't know if you're familiar with it,
Yes,
but
I
it's
am.
women who get stuff done. And I think Carla Filkin started that.
It is. It's her baby.
I don't know if you guys are members of that, but,
I
but
think
I
they-
am, and I'm not even a woman. So
No, I mean, just kudos, hats off, all the things. When you win your Pure Michigan Award, when you launch your video, we want to talk to you again, please.
Okay.
all right, we'll have you guys back a few months down the road.
Yeah.
Lindsay, did we cover it all? We get it all?
I think so, and more.
Okay. Lindsey Westdorp and Marci Hensley from the Cadillac Area Visitors Bureau. Before we finish, how can folks interact with you, find out what's going on? Website, Facebook page, let's give us that.
Yeah, I want to first shout out your show because I think it's great what you guys
Yes.
do.
Thank you.
Getting in depth with all these different people doing things like this. Yes, visit Greater Cadillac on Facebook. CadillacMichigan.com is our homepage. Like, so we've had our color updates multiple times a week through that. You can go to our website and sign up for different email updates, whether it's fall color or festivals and events or winter conditions or anything like that. We'll have our ski conditions, our cross country, our trails conditions, snowmobile trails conditions all through the winter right on our homepage. It's really heavily trafficked part of our website in the winter because everybody wants to know right now. And then 10 minutes later, has anything changed?
Yeah. And we do have our chat bot too. So
Yeah.
you can talk to us if you have a question, and we will answer. We try to answer right away, but sometimes we can't, so leave an email.
Caddy Bear Chatbot.
Yes. Yes, but you get a live
Fantastic.
person.
They're on fire, these two.
Yeah, they certainly are. Katie, next week we are scheduled to have Captain Greg Bach while we're talking about people making a difference in the community.
Oh, boy.
So we'll be chatting Salvation Army next week. So join us for that. Ladies, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Cadillac Unscripted is sponsored by Independent Bank on 107.9 CDY.